All right, so let's look at this worrying story. It's in the Finder, and it's a story by the editor himself, Elvis, and it reads, 4,169 pregnant women die in 5 years. That's very, very disturbing. Ghana has recorded 4,169 maternal mortalities in 5 years. Maternal mortality refers to deaths due to complications from pregnancy or childbirth. These deaths of pregnant women happened between 2018 and 2022. As of the end of 2022, institutional maternal mortality ratio decreased marginally from 111 per 100,000 live births to 102 per 100,000 live births. Now, data available at the Ghana Health Service shows a total number of 875 maternal deaths in 2018. However, the maternal deaths decreased to 838 in 2019, a reduction of 37 deaths. In 2020, deaths due to complications from pregnancy or childbirth declined by 62 to 776 as at the end of that year. However, maternal deaths increased sharply by 99 to 875 as at the end of 2021. Deaths due to complications from pregnancy or childbirth decreased by 70 to 805 deaths as at the end of close of 2022. Now, leading causes of maternal deaths are hypertensive disorders, which is 37.3%, hemorrhage 20.6%, sickle cell disease 8.3%, sepsis 8.3%, and pulmonary embolism 8%. Over the past few decades, the maternal mortality rate in Ghana has seen a steady decline due to several factors and robust systems put in place to ensure safe pregnancy and delivery. Collaborative sacrifices of stakeholders in health resulted in significant improvement in maternal and newborn health outcomes. Maternal death can be caused directly by postpartum hemorrhage, preeclampsia, and hypertensive disorders, pregnancy-related infections and complications of unsafe abortion, as well as indirectly by pre-existing medical conditions aggravated by the pregnancy. Now, free services for those who could not afford to pay full price made a huge impact on pregnant women in Ghana. The absolute number of countries midwifery workforce has also been increasing, positioning Ghana to surpass the WHO standard of 6 to 7 midwives per 1,000 institutional deliveries by almost two-folds to 13 midwives per 1,000 institutional deliveries. The midwife to women in fertility age ratio had equally been improving, moving from 1 midwife to 720 women in fertility age in 2017 to 1 midwife to 387 women in fertility age in 2021. About 79% of women giving birth in Ghana were assisted by a nurse or midwife, a trained professional who helps during pregnancy and labor. Many pregnant women in rural areas do not have access to quality healthcare services, and as a result, they do not receive adequate prenatal care. The nearest health facility can be several miles away from the community, where women in labor can be carried on bicycles and motorcycles to seek medical attention. So it looks like we are trying to, make some inroads, but still 4,169 pregnant women dying in 5 years is quite a huge number. Elvis.
The way you read the story, the woman in you just was showing.
Yeah,
you read so deep into this. I'm like, man, I read some 3 or 4 paragraphs, but then you were just
no,
reading.
but I'm interested in that because I am a mother.
Thank you. So I realized
I've been there before, and I know how it can be like.
Demonstrating emotions.
Yes, I'm emotional about it because really, I don't think that anybody should embark on this journey and die.
Yeah, it's true. See, I just decided to look at the situation from the perspective of the fact that a lot of health workers are now deserting us, especially the experienced ones are leaving because of financial issues. And I am just looking at the possible impact on our healthcare. And one of the critical issues is about women who die simply because they want to give birth to another life on earth, which in other countries really hardly happens. And though we're making progress, look at the number that the minimum was 766, and that is in 2019. The rest are all above 800, and these are actually recorded. Those actually who have gone to health facilities and are recorded. There are thousands that are dying who have not even gone to health facilities, therefore have not been recorded. And our effort is to make sure that we get more of health workers. But we know that we have a problem where health workers are actually not accepting postings to rural communities in Ghana. And we were praying and hoping that conditions will improve and then people will want to go there. But economic of scale now has changed the situation for us, where we are having health workers living in droves. And you see, it's not only even about midwives. Some of this, when the complications happens, it goes beyond the midwife. And you need to look for specialists and doctors and all that. And if we are having financial crisis and people are living, these health workers are beginning to live in droves, it meant that these inroads that we are making, if care is not taken, if something is not done to halt this thing or reduce the rate that people are living, in 2 years' time, our situation may become worse. Government may build the centers and the hospitals, but the people that are supposed to be there to save lives and prevent some of this happening may not be there.
Right.
Yeah, we understand that there might be many people who have been trained, not employed. Yeah. But I've learned that even the advanced countries are now accepting people who have don't even have any experience. People who have just finished school have not even worked before. Those who have finished national service have not even worked, are all applying and are being accepted and they are living. So even though it's true that there's a backlog of people who have not been employed by government, if we live in that mentality, by the time we are awake to it, maybe even those we claim are backlog may all be gone, and the facilities may not. So that I think that it's sad that we'll be having this kind of situations that women should die simply because they want to give birth. And I think that we need attention on this issue so that stakeholders, policymakers would sit up and realize that if we want to continue the progress we are making, then it's key that the human beings that will make sure that that progress continues, we are able to keep them.
Right. Let me come to you, Larry. We did a report, here about a month ago, where somewhere in the northern region or northern part of Ghana, we had tricycles being used as ambulances, to carry pregnant women to health facilities.
That's even when you are lucky. There are places even the tricycle you won't find them.
Yeah, there are places where you just have a motorbike.
And if we say that we are training nurses and midwives, and we have huge backlog, thousands of them, where are the facilities? Why should somebody die simply because I want to give birth? And being pregnant is not a disease. You are not sick. So why should people die because of this?
First of all, let me commend the finder for the story. It's a very good story. Yeah, very, very good story. Elvis is good at this. I mean, he gives statistics and then, he's able to interpret.
He's able to bring the emotions out of us.
Yeah, the emotions out. And he got you really, reading the story from the first word to the last one.
Almost the last part.
And emotional. I wanted to read more. I wanted to say more,
I realized that.
Yeah, it's a good story. It's a good story. Now, in Ghana, we tend to have pregnancy treated as though it's a death sentence. Okay. Why did you get pregnant? Do you understand? More like maybe the nurse is not married.
Especially teenage pregnancy.
Exactly, it's even worse.
Yeah.
You get it? So then you are treated like
you are committed some crime.
Yeah, you've committed a crime and so on. Now, so then you go to hospital for treatment, and anything and everything is thrown at you.
Yeah.
I've had instances where we reported on this birth-inducing medicine.
Yeah.
And they were actually fake. Yes, they were fake. They were fake. Some were procured in China, others were procured in some other countries and so on. So you go to hospital and then they inject you with it. And either the contraction doesn't come, or when it comes,
it's too severe.
It's severe. After childbirth, most of the women bleed to death. Now, there's a story I heard about somewhere in the north where this same medicine, let's assume that it's a good one. And then when the health, Ministry of Health supplies it to people, the nurses pick them that, okay, I'm entitled to 4 or 5.
Oh, wow.
This other one, I'm entitled to so and so and so. And they are supposed to keep them under a certain condition.
Yeah, certain temperatures
exactly,
and all
temperature
that.
And so on. But they don't do that.
Because they don't have the facility.
Yes, even when they have it, somebody is afraid that you come and pick his or hers.
Wow.
And so they just keep it in the lockers. So when the let's say a pregnant woman comes and she is the one on duty or something, she's going to pick it up and then even sell it to you at certain prices. In most instances, some of these women are unable to afford it. And then whatever is supposed to happen to them doesn't happen. After birth, some of them bleed to death. Okay, or the babies even die in the process because contraction was delayed and all that. Okay, so childbirth here is quite a very difficult thing. Some of these things, for all you may care, could be attributed to either the fake drugs or even when the drugs were of good quality, because they were not stored under the conditions that they were required to be, then they get expired. And then the next woman, a pregnant woman is dead and will die with the baby, okay, in certain instances and so on.
And even negligence by the health
Exactly. I mean, your wife goes through 9 months of pregnancy with all the sleeplessness and so on. And then you are hoping to see the face of your child. Listen, I mean, the first time I saw my son in the hospital, I left the hospital, went to a meeting. At the meeting, somebody was like, listen, why? Has your wife delivered of a baby or something? I think the excitement
was all over you.
All over me. You know, so waiting for all that excitement, and then the news you hear is that your wife is gone, and then your child is also gone, or the baby first, and then the mother later. You can imagine the trauma that you go through. I know women who, after going through that experience, they don't want to be pregnant again. They don't want to have anything to do with pregnancy. They are traumatized for life. We need to be doing a lot, you know, about our health system. It's getting way too much. 4,000 plus?
Yeah.
And this is just in 5 years. And like you said, how about the traditional birth attendants?
Those that were not recorded.
Those that were not recorded. Somewhere, you know, beyond my village. Where, you know, some elderly woman is the one who calls and says, oh,
there's no even health center.
There's no health center.
Exactly. So go and call a time and
yes, and then let's take this herb, let's take that, let's take that.
You die, they bury you straightforward, not reported.